What is going on YouTube? This is Vyse speaking and welcome back to episode 5 of the How to Use Splatoon 2 series. In this episode I'll be briefly going over how to use the L-3 Nozzlenose and some strategies that go along with it. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
The L-3 Nozzlenose. Oh boy.
This is a very unique shooter as it seems to be based off of a 3-round burst type weapon, because that's exactly what it is. This weapon is two of a kind, and I like to consider it the more support-oriented of the two. We'll be getting into the much more aggressive H3 Nozzlenose in the next video, but for now, back to the L3. Pressing the right trigger will shoot a burst of 3 shots that individually do 29 damage. This is very important because it means that the L3 cannot splat in one burst unless your opponent has been previously weakened. Now I know I say this every time, but keep in mind that the L3 is in fact susceptible to fall-off damage, so be sure to keep that in mind for any weird situations. Now as for the kit, the L3 grants you a curling bomb to use. I honestly feel like this is an extremely good sub-weapon for the L3 as it puts down a solid amount of ink while also applying pressure to your opponents. And the special, of course, is the baller. You already know how I feel about this thing. It's a game changer, and while it forces you to play fairly aggressively for a short amount of time, your teammates will definitely appreciate the utility it has to bring. Now as for the gear, the main of opening Gambit may take you by surprise, but trust me, this can be extremely effective. The combination of your curling bombs along with the opening Gambit make it so that you will almost always be the first one to mid. Many players won't expect you to be that quick, so use this to your advantage, especially when playing Rainmaker. If your team coordinates a quick pop, then you'll be good to go. Now as far as players that play more of a support role, then tenacity or run speed up can easily be substituted. But moving on, there's one man of Sub Saver, and that's just there to make it a lot less taxing to use a curling bomb. Finally, there's Special Charge Up, and this is downright imperative for anyone looking to make the most of the baller. Now you already know what I'm gonna say by this point, so I'll cut to the chase. When playing this weapon, I highly recommend that you always be on the lookout and be in control of your situation. Now I already hear somebody saying,
Vyse, what the heck? I mean, that's pretty much the same one as the 52 gal.
Listen, I know, but the exact same thing applies here. Trust me when I say you do not want to be assaulted while holding the L3. Expect to be blown beyond the map. The mobility is great, but with a 3-round burst, there's not much hope for an L3 player being assaulted. So all in all, the L3 Nozzlenose is a weapon that can be played defensively and offensively, but either way you play it, always be watching your back. Don't forget to use your curling bomb strategically, and be sure to use the baller whenever you might need to change the game. But with that said, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet for you guys today. I do hope that you benefit from this video, and I do hope that you give the L3 Nozzlenose a try. And be sure to stay tuned for an introduction to the H3 Nozzlenose in the next video. But if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to give it a like rating, and if you really loved it, then be sure to subscribe. But with that said, I'm gonna let the outro do its thing, and I hope to see you guys in a future video. Peace!